Has your cat taken on a brand new and perhaps unsettling behavior? Are the good times no longer so good for your pet? And rather than taking in that good life, the very best life, that you have provided for your cat, does your pet now seem to take issue with most everything? Is your cat rather aggressive at times and outwardly very unhappy? In this material, I'll cover a host of notables, several common signs that could indicate that your cat is very unhappy. I'll also talk about what you can do to turn this ship around and improve your cat's mood and behavior. Interesting topic and a quality topic, especially for first-time cat owners. I've got you covered. Stay tuned. The very first sign that I want to mention today is lethargy. If your cat is unhappy, your pet's displeasure could be fully showcased by a lack of energy. And while lethargy could point to a much bigger concern, a health-related matter, sometimes a lack of energy will be on display if your cat is in a sour mood, tired of the environment, no longer finding the joy in what used to be a very happy routine. Your cat seems just fine otherwise, specifically in the health department, yet just seems to lack that former spark. Your pet could be very unhappy. Next up, and this one is certainly similar to lethargy, and that is sleeping more, perhaps a lot more. Not only sleeping more, but perhaps sleeping in some rather strange and odd locations. If your cat is resting in areas that they've never sought out before, this is a red flag. Of course, both lethargy and sleeping more than usual are indeed potential indicators of ill health. However, with respect to this core topic, working from the baseline that your cat is just fine in the health department, more sleep and sleep in those odd locations, that's a sign of distancing, the desire to be away from the action. How does an unhappy cat act? More sleep and less play. That's a sure sign of displeasure. Now let's turn our attention to diet. Has your cat's diet changed? Perhaps drastically. Less food consumption. Very little desire to eat at all. Very picky eating. Well, it's similar to people, although the joy can get sucked out of life in a great big hurry. If your cat is no longer interested in what used to make them happy, then they'll back away. This includes food. On the flip side, some cats show unhappiness by eating more. Recreational eating, eating as a soother, emotional eating. And once again, this is not unlike people in many regards. Comfort foods, comfort eating. When it comes to diet, things can swing both ways. The takeaway here as an owner is to be mindful of your cat's diet and watch for stark changes. Your cat's behavior. When it comes to food, it could be a sign of unhappiness. Another sign that your cat is unhappy could involve changes, somewhat drastic changes, with respect to grooming habits, similar to diet. Cats that are unhappy will either groom too much, aggressive grooming, where large chunks of fur are removed, or they'll cease grooming entirely. Cats, healthy cats, both in mind and body, will never swing one way or the other. If you've noticed stark changes in your pet's grooming habits, grooming routine, this could be a sign of unhappiness and stress. Next on our list is aggression, aggressive behaviors, atypical behaviors. If your cat is unhappy and stays that way for a long period of time, some level of anger and frustration is bound to boil to the surface. If your once precious and gentle cat starts acting out, perhaps even turning rather mean and claws ready to attack, this is obviously a major red flag. If your pet begins to take their displeasure out on your property or on your body, that's a major problem. Here again, working from the knowledge that your cat is physically healthy, it'll be your job to unlock the reasons behind your cat's displeasure and never overlook the dull things. The subtle things. What you think could be nothing at all could be the sole reason behind your cat's shift in both personality and behavior. And what about your cat's vocals? That's next up. Meowing more or a lot more or meowing less? Like so many things on this list, it's all about being proactive and watching your cat. Paying attention to anything and everything that deviates from your cat's baseline. If your cat is meowing more and the tone and pitch has changed and morphed into one of frustration, your cat is likely trying to tell you something, probably a whole bunch of somethings. On the flip side, some cats, when things get a bit too much to handle, they'll just resign themselves to the situation. This is often when lethargy sets in, and with it, less vocalization, less meowing, less caring, to be honest. Cats that are stressed and unhappy, some make it a priority to stay out of the action. For every cat that turns aggressive, some make it a priority to retreat. Similar to lethargy and prolonged sleeping, if your cat is making it a point to avoid you and avoid all human contact, this is a sign that at the very least that your cat is displeased. Something is proving itself to be a turnoff. It could be you. It could be that new coffee table that you purchased. It could even be that new bundle of joy, the new baby in your home. Unhappy cats. It's not uncommon for them to lay low for a while until they once again become comfortable and secure within their own environment. Of course, it's almost impossible to talk about feline troubles without mentioning the litter box. Similar to diet, if your cat is stressed and unhappy, you can almost expect at least some measure of change when it comes to bathroom habits. This could include failure to cover waste in addition to the act of using the bathroom outside of the litter box. Some cats in an aggressive state could also begin to take out frustration on the litter itself. Have you ever seen a cat just kick litter for no reason at all? Almost looks like a child in a sandbox having a bit of a temper tantrum. Cats, be mindful of those bathroom changes. When it comes to stress and unhappiness, it all adds up. And speaking of it all adding up, let's talk about sickness. Felines that are unable to manage stress, if things begin to fester, the issue could manifest in the form of sickness, vomiting and diarrhea, to be more specific. Cats that aren't sick can sometimes make themselves sick, simply due to stress and anxiety. General unhappiness. It must also be stated that aggressive grooming can also at times promote vomiting. This is especially true if your cat is removing large chunks of fur, because while your cat doesn't have to be physically ill to exhibit many symptoms or actions that have been mentioned in this video, if many are indeed present, your pet could become sick simply due to the stress of it all. And finally, to round things out today, let's talk about changes in daily routine. Felines are creatures of habit, and they love that habit. However, if your cat is a bit uneasy within their own environment, they could begin to deviate from the daily routine. Of course, most of what has been mentioned would qualify as a change in routine, but in the most general sense, your cat could be just in limbo, let's call it. For example, your cat could just stop and stand in the middle of the living room floor, just looking a bit confused, looking aimlessly, or they could just wander around your house, sit on the edge of your sofa. Your cat seems on edge, literally and figuratively, or even a bit bewildered. This is yet another potential indicator that your cat is stressed and unhappy. When you speak about a feline's comfort and security, you must also speak about confidence. Cats that are unhappy are no longer sure of that comfort and security. When that happens, one of the first things to go is confidence. The ability to move about the environment with ease, with trust. If your cat, dare I say, looks a bit confused, it could be a case of anxiety and unhappiness. And to the audience of Senior Cat Wellness, what are your thoughts? Is there anything that you would like to add to this topic? Add to the conversation. Do you have personal stories to share concerning your cat's behavior and general attitude about with unhappiness and stress? Your take on all of it. That comment section, as always, it's all yours. And if you enjoyed this content, this topic, please give the video a like and subscribe to the channel. I'd love to have you as a member of the Senior Cat Wellness family. And until next time, thank you so very much for watching, and I will talk to you later.